Hello, my name is Andrew Herrera. Welcome to White Rock Lake. White Rock Lake is located approximately 10 miles northeast of downtown Dallas. The lake has become one of North Texas's most popular attractions. The land that the lake is currently located on was once many acres of farmland owned by various different families. We are beginning our tour around White Rock Lake here at the Bathhouse Cultural Center. The Bathhouse Cultural Center offers visitors an in-depth history of how White Rock Lake came into existence. Marty Van Cleek is the managing director of the facility. Marty will give us some key elements about White Rock Lake in its early years.
Initially, they were trying to make a reservoir, so it would be a future water supply, and they had this lake, this creek running from Frisco all the way down here, and so they decided that was a great source for water for the city of Dallas as it started growing back in the early 1900s.
Swimming had once been a common activity here at White Rock Lake. In 1930, a bathhouse facility was constructed with both men and women's locker rooms for people swimming here at White Rock Lake.
In the late 1920s, with the mayor at the time, who was very interested in having a wonderful place for people to swim here. And so that was when the bathhouse was built. It was completed in 1930 as a place for people to gather.
Even though this had been once a popular destination for swimmers, swimming is no longer allowed here at White Rock Lake.
A lot of people, I think, mourn the closing of the ability to swim at White Rock Lake. At the time, there was a really bad drought in the early 50s, and that I think began the process of the lake closing. They needed to use the lake water for drinking water for the city of Dallas. And two, that was a time when polio was very prevalent, and I think they were frightened that polio might be being passed through the water, and people were catching it that way.
The year 1958 marked the end of the lake's many years as one of North Texas's most popular swimming destinations. After swimming was gone, there was no longer a need for the bathhouse. The building sat vacant for over 20 years until the early 1980s. The bathhouse would then be converted into a cultural center, presenting many different showcases and events to the area.
What we do here at the bathhouse is we have an art gallery over here, and we like to really display local artists. We mainly concentrate on local artists, and we have a theater on the other side, and over there we rent the facility to local theater groups. We don't really do a lot of weddings or things like that. We have two other wonderful places, well, many places around the lake that you can have those kinds of events, but we try to stay closer to having cultural events. So we might have a big gallery opening. We have some festivals where we have artists showing all weekend, but it's always going to be arts related here at the bathhouse.
Adding to the Cultural Center, the White Rock Lake Museum also opened here inside of the bathhouse. This museum offers you an in-depth history of White Rock Lake and how it has evolved since its creation.
We were part of the Parks Department back then in the 80s, and there was a group of citizens here in this neck of the woods who really wanted to open a cultural center. So the bathhouse is the first of 5 neighborhood cultural centers connected with the city of Dallas. The White Rock Museum actually opened in 2004, and there's a fellow up in the Peninsula neighborhood just up from us down here at the bathhouse named Kurt Kressinger. He was really the prime person who pushed getting this museum put together, and he had some wonderful donors who helped and assisted, and there are 2 wonderful people who are very knowledgeable about the lake, Sally Rodriguez and Steve Butler, who helped, I think, assist with finding the pictures and helping the verbiage, put together the verbiage on the wonderful wall plaques that you see here.
The Bathhouse Cultural Center and the White Rock Lake Museum are the perfect places for residents and tourists to begin learning about White Rock Lake and the surrounding communities. Marty explains to us that the many different structures located at White Rock Lake were constructed by a work relief program.
Originally, those were built by the WPA project and during the Depression, and they were built as additional recreation areas. We have stone tables, we have Winfrey Point, we have Big Thicket, all very much recreation centers. There was also boating on the lake at that time, and they used to have big boat races, and the Body Barge was a party boat, and so White Rock Lake was quite the active place, and the place to be back then.
As we travel around White Rock Lake, we are going to stop at Winfrey Point. Winfrey Point is located on a hill overlooking White Rock Lake. Today, people can come to the Winfrey Point House to host their special events, including weddings, dances, receptions, meetings, or any event of their choosing. The Winfrey Point House, constructed by the Civilian Conservation Corps, remains in its current condition and current appearance on the hill overlooking White Rock Lake with the downtown Dallas skyline in the background. Guests having their events here at Winfrey Point have the option of hosting their event inside of the house or also outside on the patio with a broad view of the lake in the distance. Outside here on the hill that Winfrey Point is located on, you will see many different kinds of birds. Later on in our tour, we will notice many of the locations that are a birdwatcher's paradise. Winfrey Point is the perfect place to host an event that makes you feel like you are out in the Texas countryside. You will have a broad view of the landscape here of North Texas while you are at Winfrey Point at White Rock Lake. Throughout our tour of White Rock Lake today, we will visit many other structures constructed by the Civilian Conservation Corps.